So you want to become a footballer? Here's a fun fact. Somewhere around 1 million kids play organized youth football at any given time. Roughly 180 of them will ever play a single minute in a top European league. That's not a typo. That's just math being cruel. So today we're answering the real question. How much talent do you actually need to make it? Spoiler, less than you think. You've seen the highlight reels. A player picks the ball up in his own half, glides past 4 defenders, and smashes it into the top corner. The stadium loses its mind. He slides on his knees. His teammates pile on top of him like it's a rugby scrum. Somewhere, a kid watching on TV decides right then and there, that's going to be me. Maybe it's the money. Top players earn more in a week than most people earn in a decade. Maybe it's the fame. Your face on a billboard, your name on the back of a jersey worn by a stranger in Jakarta. Maybe you just love the ball. The satisfying thud when you catch it perfectly. Every kid on every street in every country shares this exact dream. It sounds amazing, until reality shows up. Turns out the guy sliding on his knees in that highlight reel probably woke up at 5 that morning, sat through an ice bath, and got yelled at twice in training before lunch. Nobody clips that part for social media. Here's what the highlight reel skips. For every 90 minutes you play, you'll spend roughly 40 hours training for it, 6 a.m. alarms. You don't choose your diet. A nutritionist does. You don't choose your sleep schedule. A performance coach does. You will get injured. Not once. Repeatedly. A hamstring here, an ankle there. Maybe a serious one that cost you a year of your career right as things were finally clicking. And here's the part nobody warns you about. Your job performance is judged live by tens of thousands of strangers every single week. Have a bad game, and by the time you're in the shower, your name is trending online for the wrong reasons. Sounds stressful? It is, but also ask any professional if they'd trade it, and watch how fast they say no. There's also the part where you don't choose where you live. The club does. Get sold in January and you're packing your life into 2 suitcases by Friday. A normal week might mean training on Christmas Eve, flying out for an away game on your birthday, and eating the exact same pre-approved meal your nutritionist assigned, hungry or not. Fans will call you a hero on Saturday and a disgrace on Wednesday, based entirely on a result you sometimes couldn't have changed alone. The roar of the crowd lasts 90 minutes. The silence in an empty locker room afterward lasts a lot longer. It starts with obsession, not talent. You're 7 years old. You'd rather kick a ball around than eat dinner. Your parents notice. Saturday mornings become a routine. Cold pitches, muddy boots, a coach yelling instructions you're only half listening to. By 10, you're clearly better than most kids your age. A coach mentions the word every football parent dreams of hearing, trial. You walk into a real academy for the first time, and suddenly the bar moves. Every other kid here was also the best player in their town. You don't make the cut. It stings, but instead of quitting, you get better. Quietly, relentlessly. Here's the part most people never hear about. Roughly 3 out of 4 boys signed to an academy will be released before they ever turn 18. Released is a polite word for it. What it actually means is a coach sitting you down in an office, thanking you for your effort and telling you the club is moving in a different direction. Some of those boys were more talented than you, genuinely gifted, better on the ball at 12 years old than you'll ever be. But talent alone doesn't survive a growth spurt that arrives 2 years late. It doesn't survive a bad injury at 14. It doesn't survive a new coach who simply prefers a different style of player. This is the cruel part of the whole system. Being the most talented kid in the academy guarantees you almost nothing. Being the kid who adapts, who studies the game, who keeps improving even when nobody's watching gives you an actual chance. You start to understand that a professional career isn't really a talent competition. It's an endurance competition wearing a talent competition's jersey. 2 years later, you try again. This time you make it in. The relief lasts about a week. Then you realize the boys around you have private coaches, personal chefs, and fathers who used to play professionally themselves. You have none of that. What you do have is a refusal to be outworked. So you start arriving earlier, staying later, watching match footage on a cracked old laptop at midnight, studying how strikers find space before the ball even arrives. Here's where talent alone stops being enough, because now you're surrounded by kids with better coaches, better boots, better everything. What separates you isn't your first touch anymore. It's whether you show up early, whether you stay late, whether you actually watch match footage for fun. This is the answer to our central question, by the way. Talent gets you through the door. It does not get you a career. At 16, you play your first real academy match against a rival club. You mess up badly. A misplaced pass straight to the other team, straight into the back of your own net. Your coach doesn't yell. He just says 4 words, learn it, move on. At 18, you get your first professional contract, not as a starter, as an option. Reserve matches. Maybe a loan spell to a smaller club where the stadium seats 300 people and echoes more than it roars. It's humbling. You share an apartment with 2 strangers. You cook your own meals badly. You lose more than you win. There are nights you call home and quietly admit you're not sure this is working out. Your mother tells you the same thing she told you at 10 years old. Just play the way you know how. The rest was never yours to control anyway. Somewhere in that lone spell, something shifts. The game slows down in your head. Decisions that used to take a second now take a fraction of one. You get called back for preseason. The manager watches you every day for 2 weeks straight, saying almost nothing. Then your name shows up on the matchday squad list. Not as a starter, as a possibility. You warm up on the sideline, heart pounding louder than the crowd. The manager calls your name. This is not the end of the story. It's barely the opening credits. Now you have to prove you belong here, every single week for as long as your body allows it. Nobody tells you what this actually costs. You miss birthdays, weddings, ordinary Sunday dinners because there is a match, a flight, or a recovery session that can't be skipped. Relationships buckle under constant travel. Some don't survive it. Your body stops being fully yours. Physios control your recovery. Coaches control your schedule. Even your off-season vacation gets approved by someone else first. Then there's the online criticism. One bad performance and thousands of strangers who've never kicked a ball in their life will explain loudly exactly what you did wrong. Even Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the best to ever do it, spent years being called too skinny, too flashy, not good enough for the big stage. He just trained twice as hard as everyone doubting him. That's usually how the story actually goes, quietly and for a long time before anyone notices. For every year you spend rising, one bad injury or one bad manager can end it overnight. There are no guarantees here, only odds, and most of them aren't in your favor. Some players spend entire careers hopping between countries, learning new languages just to understand their own manager, leaving behind every friendship they ever built along the way. Others watch their kids grow up mostly through video calls, present for the trophies, absent for the ordinary Tuesday evenings that actually build a childhood. And when it all ends, often earlier than expected, there's a strange kind of grief waiting. The only life you've known since age 7 just stops. No transition plan, no warning, just silence where a stadium used to be. Ask any retired player what they miss most, and it's rarely the money. It's the dressing room banter before kickoff, the feeling of belonging to something bigger than yourself. So, how much talent do you actually need? Enough to open the door, not nearly enough to walk through it alone. Talent gets 1,000 kids into an academy. Only a handful of them turn pro. The difference usually isn't who was more gifted at 12. It's who kept showing up at 6 a.m. after the 12-year-old version of talent stopped being special. And this career isn't for people who simply love winning. Everyone loves winning. It's for people who can lose, get dropped, sit on a bench watching someone else live their dream, and still show up to training the next morning anyway. Ask yourself honestly, could you train for 10 years with zero guarantee any of it pays off? Most people can't. That's exactly why so few ever make it. But if everything you just heard, the sacrifice, the pressure, the odds stacked against you, still makes you want to lace up your boots right now, then talent was never really the question. Football doesn't reward whoever's most gifted. It rewards whoever refuses to stop.